This eye is not merely seeing reality, it is touching the truth.
Hello everyone, my name is Zeotrex, and today we're doing a review on Skeleton Crew, the latest show in the Star Wars universe. Skeleton Crew is about a kid named Wim and his friend Neil who come across a ship on their planet at Aten. They then get lost in the galaxy and they have to make it back home, while having the assist of a Jedi named Jod who may not be everything that they think he is. So let's talk about this. Star Wars is something that I've kind of just don't love anymore. I didn't watch Andor because I just didn't have time for it, but I do intend to watch that. And I got through most of Ahsoka, but I don't like Dave Filoni. I don't like Dave Filoni, and it put me to sleep. I just did not like Ahsoka. And Mandalorian sort of fallout. Obi-Wan has its issues. And I didn't watch Acolyte, but something I liked about Acolyte's premise was that it was taking place outside of a setting that wasn't in what we've usually seen. It was something different for Star Wars, I felt. And I really like that. There's only so many stories you can do in between Revenge of the Sith and A New Hope. You know, I mean, you can do as many stories as you want after Return of the Jedi. There's long years in between that and Force Awakens. But there's only so many times you can use the Inquisitors, you know. But Skeleton Crew is the first Star Wars show that I actually sat down and watched. It was the first show that I sat down week from week and just really liked it. I really liked Skeleton Crew. It's so inoffensive. Nothing happens in this show that pisses me off. Because Disney Star Wars, as of lately, not to sound like a fucking grifter or anything, these are just my genuine, feelings. I don't like Disney Star Wars. I don't like how they're using it as kind of like a cash grab now. Messing with stories that were already told, kind of messing up characters and trying to use you can see all my Mountain Dew, oh no, using that to promote your new stuff, which I don't know. That's a rant. That's a giant rant for a different day. I have some minor nitpicks, some minor complaints, and some fucking fears, but nothing in this show really pissed me off, which is very easy for modern Star Wars to do. You know, not them understanding the rules of a lightsaber or the horrible choreography or whatever. I genuinely really liked this show, and I hope Disney and Lucasfilms learns from the reception of it, because there's one major aspect that I want to talk about that made me really like this show. But I just like how innocent this show is. It's Goonies, but Star Wars. It feels like Amblin Entertainment Films, and the fact that we're basing this off a group of kids, I think really adds to that kind of wonder that going on. Their acting could be a bit off or stiff at times. They're kids, man. They do a good enough job, and I liked them as characters too. Neil, especially, he's like Butters if he was a Star Wars character, and he looks great. I think he's like a mixture of puppeteers and um, like a suit and CGI. Really love him how he looks, and I love the more realistic look that they give at Aten. You know what I'm saying? It's incorporating our world, but Star Warsifying it. You know, like suburbs. You know, that's Star Wars suburbs or schools and all of that. It's like our cities, our world in real life, but it's Star Wars, and I really do like that. I thought that was a pretty creative choice. Um, It's a shame that we see so little of Aten. It's really only just in the first episode. It just feels like such a grand adventure, though. Hopping from planet to planet and discovering the galaxy is so cool. And that's why I like it so much. Plus, let's just get this out of the way. It's not connected to anything. No Skywalkers, no Ahsoka, no Boba Fett, no Mando, no Grogu, no Palpatine or Yoda or Darth Plagueis. No. It's a show that takes place in Star Wars. And it makes the universe for Star Wars feel so much bigger. It makes the universe feel truly that large, right? Because when you say if this show had like an Ahsoka cameo or a cameo like that, then it's like, come on. Now it just feels like everything in Star Wars has to be related to the Skywalkers. Because I get that's what the main movies were. We were following Luke Skywalker going up against the Empire. And I get, like, the Empire is a pretty big thing, right? And so would Luke. But I feel as if there's more to the galaxy than just Luke Skywalker. Space is infinite. It is way beyond our, like, it is infinite, and it goes out there forever. So by only telling stories, or only having stories have to be connected to, like, Luke, or Ahsoka, or, like, all of that, then it doesn't really feel like a universe. It more so just feels like a franchise, which I would be fine with if it didn't get so stale. You could only tell so many stories with the Skywalkers and all that, but having these characters simply just explore space, explore the galaxy, and not have to mention the Empire, or not have to mention Order 66, or, you know, all of this, it works. It really works. There's only so much story you can cram in there before things intertwine. And I'm not too sure. Correct me if I'm wrong on this Acolyte thing. Don't they do something with the Force that, like, the twins were, like, Force babies? And doesn't that go against what Anakin is? Why he was special was that he was created through the Force? Let me know if I'm wrong on that, but it's just such a breath of fresh air for Star Wars, and it's what I want more going forward. Just do separate stories. Every show is connected to something. Andor is based off a character from Rogue One. Ahsoka, I mean, that's just be honest. Acolyte, even though I like that premise, I know that Yoda showed up at the end. And again, I haven't seen it, but I know of things in that show. Not that that matters. That show got canceled, which I hope Skeleton Crew doesn't. Now, all of this praise will go away if Dave Filoni gets his fat fucking fingers in this universe. Stay away, Dave Filoni. You jingling key bastard. That Mandalorian and Grogu movie, man, it is just jingling keys in your face from what I hear. Oh, Rada the Hutt's returning. Embo's returning. Ahsoka's in this movie. I'm so tired. Instead of meaningful stories, most of what Hollywood wants to do is just shove nostalgic slop in our faces, and I'm fucking tired of it, honestly. I want to make a video talking about the consequences of Spider-Man No Way Home. I love that movie, but I will not deny that movie I will blame for, because what it feels like Hollywood doesn't understand is why that's special and why something like The Flash isn't. We have to bring back old actors. We have to bring back these older characters. That's clearly what they want. But why we liked No Way Home is because that was really the first time that they've have done something like that. I don't know. And kind of, it's a topic for a different day. Even then, I heard that a Mandalorian pirate showed up in this show, but I didn't notice him. He wasn't in your face, and it would kind of make sense why he would be there. He's a pirate. It fits, you know. Like I didn't want Jod to talk to Wim, and then Ahsoka comes down with Mando and Luke, and then I'll move on. And speaking of Jod, minor spoilers, I guess. If you've seen the show, you've seen the show. He's a great antagonist. Jod is he's such a shifty guy from the minute we see him. And he's not to be trusted, and he still has that kind of charm to him. Like, he could be trusted. And this all goes away during, I think, episode 5, where he betrays the kids. And Jude Law does a great job as Jod or Silvo. Or, throughout the show, multiple people call him, like, different names. And it's like, oh yeah, we shouldn't trust this guy. There's this, new droid introduced, SM-33, and I love him. Modern Star Wars still succeeds at one thing, and that's its effects. Either digital or practical. It looks great. I love how SM-33 looks. You can hold on. You can tell that it is like a puppet, but I just love the way he moves and the way he talks. Strengthens that Goonies connection. And the CGI is phenomenal, dude. Watching this on a 4K TV out there, it was fucking neck, dude. It was absolutely phenomenal watching. Just some of the scenes are so breathtakingly beautiful, surprisingly breathtakingly beautiful as well. And there's one scene in the first episode that I felt was weird, and that was this. It was noticeable, kind of. It was when Wim and Neil are talking about I forgot what it was, but the way that it's like filmed, you can tell it's obvious green screen, and you could tell they're not in the same room because it's cutting to Wim just standing there by himself. It cuts to Neil standing there by himself, and it looked very cheap, which is so out of place for this show because it looks great. There's a crab monster that shows up later on, and he's stop motion, and I love the way he looks. I'm so glad Star Wars is doing practical effects. And even then, with how much not even just practical effects, with how much technology has advanced since those original movies, the CGI has benefited a lot. I don't like I don't like the not prequels, sequels, but they're beautiful. They are beautiful looking at times, especially Last Jedi. That is like great. That is a great looking film. It's just in service of a movie I don't like. I loved all of the characters here. It was just so fun just watching them do things. Neil is my favorite, and I love all the little arcs they go through, and I really like how they handled the character of KB, who is a disabled character, and they don't really do too much on the fact that she's disabled, because I didn't know that she was until episode 6, I believe, episode 6. But either way, I do like how there was this really great moment where Wim has to repair the motors in her because they're rusting up, they're corroding, and yeah, and I like how Fern isn't just a one-note mean girl. This show shows their fear in situation and how sort of scary it is, at least as far as they could go without being too mature. It is a kid show, but I think they did it well enough. And I've said it in Penguin, and I've said it in Creature Commandos. What happened to 22 episode shows? I'm tired of this. This will be the last time I rant about this. But with a premise like this, I feel like they could have done a much longer show where they completely explore the galaxy. They meet new friends, and I guess something like that would work more if it was like an animated show, but with our era of streaming that we live in, I don't think we're gonna get anything like that anymore. But I just like longer shows. It's a breath of fresh air. It's a show that keeps to itself, and because of that, it really works. It's genuinely a really good story. It has a great bad guy and such fun characters and such fun adventure to go on. It feels like Star Wars. It's what Star Wars has been missing for a long time. It's not perfect, but it's refreshing. And I hope we see Star Wars evolve more from this and not just stay stuck in the past. B. So, It gets a B. Do I have text? Okay. Shit. What the fuck? Come on. Spoilers. Let's talk about some spoilers real quick. Not much I want to say, except for one thing, and that's Jod's backstory. Throughout the show, at least I was questioning on whether or not he's a Jedi. Like, is he actually Force sensitive, or is it just tricks? Because throughout the show, we really only see him, like, control metal. Like, it's always metallic objects that he controls. So it's like, I thought it was like magnets until he pushes Wim's dad down. It's like, unless he had some metal on him, wow. And then he, like, is holding Wim and Fern and all them. And I think he does have the Force. We learned that he was found by a Jedi and was trained by a Jedi until they hunted her down. I'm going to talk about this in a minute. Some news came out. It's very up in the air. I think Jod was a Jedi trained pirate, kind of like how Grievous was trained with lightsabers. You know, he wasn't Force sensitive. I'm still iffy on him being Force sensitive. Cause like, I know we have like some pretty clear evidence as to why he could be Force sensitive, but I'm also thinking back to it and like, there was some metal in them. Yeah. He says that his the girl who found him was hunted and killed. And I think that was Inquisitors, not a... Since Order 66 wasn't like a hunting thing, it was an ambush. They didn't know it was going to happen. So let's talk about this Jedi here. So what's her name? What is her name? Let me look this up. But I just found this little article, or just this tweet, saying how she had all of her scenes cut. And I'm gonna get a bit, like, kind of off brand here for a minute. God, this fucking camera. I'm so sick of it. God damn it. Fuck you, Twitter. Replies. Here we go. So, Yasmin Al-Masri, sorry if I mispronounced that, revealed that she filmed a scene as a Jedi for Skeleton Crew, which was cut from the show. She would have been the first... Oh, I misread that. I thought that said lesbian. Lebanese/Palestinian Jedi. Palestinian. I wonder why they cut it out. There's two sides to this. One, I have no doubt that Disney cut it out because she's Palestinian. They're fucking like that. They have refilmed Captain America Brave New World so many times, yet they refuse to cut out Sabra, a character that has been literally plaguing the movie with controversy, right? Refuse to cut her out, yet they have no issue, like, Disney has no issue cutting out a Palestinian character. Very interesting, very notable. I'm noticing something there, Disney. Free Palestine. That's all I gotta say. Just free Palestine. But there was also another article saying that they didn't do a flashback to Jod meeting the Master because we're supposed to be viewing him from the kid's point of view, which I get. I definitely did feel that we were experiencing Jod through that. But part of me believes that's just an excuse. Skeleton Crew was a good show. I just don't like Disney. Well, until then, I don't know what my next review will be, but I'm gonna do some more videos other than just movie reviews. Kind of get back into that swing of gaming videos, which I've always been wanting to do for a bit, but I just haven't really had interest for anything. I'm probably gonna get back to a favorite movie thing I'm doing right now. I don't know. All those videos are gonna come out at the same time. This one, the game, and the movie. All right. Until then, yarg.